You expand in your spirit and your soul and your capacity and your skill.
If you really want to become successful, it's going to be tough and it's going to be a challenging ride because you're going to go through some major ups, but also some major downs along the way. It's going to make it challenging for you to be able to work through those times and keep your motivation. For example, when you fail, it's going to be incredibly hard to think that you want to keep going because failure is probably the worst feeling in the world. It sucks. It feels like you got punched in the face, pushed down, and kicked again. It's a feeling nobody likes to feel. However, it is going to happen, and honestly, it's worth it because when you fail, you learn so much about yourself and about what you're trying to accomplish. And once you pull yourself up from that failure, you will learn a lot there as well because you then know how to pull yourself up from a rough situation and figure out how to go against the odds and tackle the challenge at hand because that's the person you need to be. Extremely motivated no matter how rough it gets, always looking on the bright side of life and determining your own fate. If everybody says you can't do it, find a way to make it happen because that's your goal and that's your dream and you want to make it happen with everything you got. Put all the time in, put all the energy in, all the effort, all the hard work that it's going to take. And it's not going to happen overnight. There will be time that goes into it. You're going to be probably frustrated about how long it takes, but once it happens, it will be incredible.
The most important decision is, do I want to be happy? Will I commit to being happy? More important than happy. Most of us in life, we work so hard for things. We think life's going to be a certain way, but as you're going to discover, life is never a straight line. You know, we're taught that. We think line is just, I'm going to go from here to there. But if you look in nature, you never see a straight line in real nature. If it's a straight line, a human built it. And so it's a process of evolving, of growing, dropping back, growing, dropping back, and challenges are what really grow us. You know, your life is a great story. You know, every person's life is a story. And the question is, some people's story is a warning, some people's story is an example. Right now, you're an example that's growing and expanding, and you have a chance to have this be the most incredible life. But it won't be a life without challenge. And the challenges we're facing right now give you an opportunity to grow like very few generations. You know, I'm sure you've heard of the Great Generation, the World War II generation. If you watch a great movie, if you read a great book, you know, the size and the power of the hero, how much you become as a hero is defined by how tough an obstacle you face. How difficult is the villain, the opponent? And so sometimes when I've been through the toughest times of my life, one of the questions I've had to ask myself or note to myself is, I finally have a really worthy opponent. This is scaring the hell out of me, or this is challenging me, or this is making me crazy. But I also know in my gut and in my soul that if I can push through, it's just like you've done in these years. You've pushed through tough times, I'm sure, many of them. But as you push through those, you become more. And as you become more, something magical happens. You don't just grow. What touches me most about Mark is his commitment to really find a way to add value. We all know in this room, there's only one way you succeed long term. Anybody can get lucky, do something for a period of time, but real success in any measure whatsoever comes when you do more for others than anybody else. There's no other way to do it. You find a way to add more what? Value. And if we find the way to add more value, we can be superior in the marketplace, but we can also be superior in our own lives. We can enjoy our lives at a different level. We can have a different set of pride that isn't fake. It's not ego. Ego is when you try to make it better than it is, and you know the truth is it's not. But when you really are in a position, when you're in a position where you own what you're about, and you know what you're here to deliver, and you deliver it on a significant scale, then you have an opportunity to really experience not only success, but fulfillment. Well, I think it's really important. First of all, it's great to be with you all here. I know you've had a full day, and I hope to add some real value to you in this brief time. I think it's really critical that you understand that everybody wants to grow their business, and we all go through different phases, right? Just like human beings go through phases. You know, you give birth to your business, and you're an infant, and an infant is a run for survival, and cash flow problems are a natural process in most cases, and you're running. Hopefully, you get to a teenager where now cash flow is not a problem, you're growing like crazy, and then you have a new problem. You don't have systems in place. And maybe you get to young adult where you have to decide what you're not going to do. Eventually, hopefully get to prime where you're growing your business revenues and you're growing your profits and you got a professional organization and you're not doing it. Because as long as you're doing it, really you don't have a business. What you have is you're self-employed. There's nothing wrong with being self-employed. But whenever you meet someone who's in business is stressed, they're always a business operator. And my focus is to become a business owner. How do you do that? You realize that the chokehold in the growth of your business is always the leader. And it's your skills and it's your psychology. And I found it's 80% psychology and 20% skills. You got to have the marketing skills. You got to be able to lead. You got to be able to recruit. You got to do all those things. The number one thing that's going to change your life, the only thing that will change your life, change your business, change your money, change your relationship, is you must raise your standard. Now I know that sounds boring, stupid, basic, but it's the truth.
The only thing that changes our life long term is when we raise our standards. What does that mean? That sounds so boring and dumb. It means that all of us in life have things we want. We don't get what we want, we get what we have to have. Everyone in the world has a list of things they think they should do. I should lose weight, I should work out, I should spend more time with my kids, I should work harder, I should make more calls, I should. And then you know what? People don't do their shoulds and they get mad at themselves and they what I call should all over themselves. They beat themselves up about it.
Thank you all so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and let us know what you thought down in the comment section below.